Weather alert day, a winter storm system already bringing sleet and frigid temperatures to the area, with RDOT now reporting most of the roads in northwest Arkansas are covered in snow, ice, or slush tonight, with the storm expected to bring more significant snowfall and frigid temperatures tomorrow.
Yeah, here's a live look in Fayetteville overlooking College Avenue, where drivers already dealing with icy conditions, not only here, but all over northwest Arkansas. Still roads wet in the River Valley. We'll check in with Micah Wilson, who was live with a look at the latest on the road conditions drivers will be dealing with overnight tonight into tomorrow morning.
And as you can see here in Washington County, RDOT already reporting completely ice-covered roads on major highways like I-49, 412 running through Springdale. You can see they're covered in pink, purple, and blue, showing the conditions at this hour.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 10. I'm Darren Bobb.
And I'm Erica Thomas. As promised, this storm system has made its way to the area. Let's check in with Matt to find out what we can expect in the next few hours.
It was delayed, but it's finally here. Also, you're going to notice the radar kind of go out for a second. A couple outages with the radars, but otherwise the snow is still coming on, and you're watching heavy bands of snow in Oklahoma continue to press into western Arkansas. That pink color indicating some of that sleet and ice. Now here at home, even though it looks like we're really changing over to snow from Fayetteville and Bentonville, that's still a lot of sleet. There are a couple snowflakes mixed in, but we're still getting a mix of sleet and snow in northwest Arkansas. I-49 is now covered, like Eric and Darren were just mentioning, with RDOT and those road sensors. In the River Valley, we got a good mix of sleet really coming down in Fort Smith, but starting to change over to a little bit more snow in parts of eastern Oklahoma. I want to take you a little bit closer to northwest Arkansas. This is a live look in Bentonville. There's Walton. You can still see some of the tire tracks. I tell you what, we were doing Drive 5 just a little bit earlier. When you're in those tire tracks behind the previous car, it's not too bad, but you try making lane changes, that's when things start to get slick. In the River Valley, we've got some sleet coming into parts of Fort Smith and throughout much of the River Valley. There's just a little bit kind of moving on in here a bit, and this is a live look in Fort Smith. Roadways are wet, but not as icy as they are up north. However, that's going to change later tonight as that colder air moves in and more of those ice-covered roads spread from northwest Arkansas, eventually south into the River Valley too. We'll let you know how much more ice and snow is on the way. It's coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks. Let's go back now out onto I-49. This is at the MLK exit there in South Fayetteville. You can see some salt and sand trucks moving down moving south on 49 there at the MLK exit. That's where we find Micah Wilson live in Fayetteville. Micah, how things looking out right now where you are?
Darren, right now, you can probably see it. I can definitely feel it on my face. These sleet and snow pellets are really hitting, and it's coming down. And look at it. It's almost completely white everywhere you look. And if you all can look at the ground, this is what we are seeing out here. And we've been seeing it on some of the roads out here in Washington County. It is some hard kind of sleet and snow out here. Now, everyone's probably asking, how are the roads doing? Will they continue to be drivable, or where we can ride on it? We'll get to that. I want to take a look at some video from earlier. Again, we've been driving around Washington County. So far, we've been seeing a lot of this snow and sleet on the ground, just covering the roads. We know that we did see a few wet spots. That's probably where RDOT went to go treat the roads out there. We've also checked in with Washington, Sebastian, and Crawford counties. They say so far they're doing well. Sebastian County says so far no reports. Now they're not dealing with any ice bridges or major road concerns. Now they do have 3 road crews that are heading out starting tonight that will be out here trying to treat the roads. And in Crawford County, crews are on standby. Right now they're just monitoring conditions, seeing how everything's going. But so far they're not reporting any major accidents or anything. Crews will be on the roads ready to treat them starting at 5 a.m. Then over in Oklahoma, LaFleur County, that's where they're running into some problems. They say they had a few minor accidents and some slick spots are being reported. But what they're really worried about is overnight as the temperature decreases. That's what they're worried about. However, he says that they're glad that the schools and houses of worship are closed. They're making things a little bit easier. And we know that Oklahoma's Department of Transportation, he says they're out treating roads right now. And ahead of the storms, we did see some last minute shoppers, people saying, you know, they want to get some food because they want to stay inside, as many of the road crews and departments have been telling us to do. We spoke with one shopper out tonight. He said for the most part he had everything, the store had everything that he needed to get, and he got in and out pretty fast.
This is my weekend right now in the middle of the week, so I'll definitely be indoors for 2 days. The shells had everything I needed, with some basics being pretty picked over. I will say they seemed really staffed for a busier night than it was tonight, so I got in and out fast.
Now, we did check out with other counties like Madison and Benton. However, we haven't heard back from them. But yeah, it's coming down pretty hard right now. We'll check back in with you later. For now, live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Mike Wilson, 5 News.
All right, Micah, thanks. Now here's a live look at I-40 near the Alma exit right now on I-Drive Arkansas. In preparation for tonight's ice, RDOT pulled in more manpower to treat the roads. 5 News reporter Joe Ellison gives us a look at their strategy.
County road crews, even city road crews like the ones here in Fort Smith, have been out treating roads just like this one today, hoping in the morning they can make it a bit easier on drivers. Now, we take it out on the interstates. Arkansas Department of Transportation, they're worried about ice accumulations as well. They've even brought in more crews. The Arkansas Department of Transportation has even pulled extra crews out of southern Arkansas to work out of our area here in northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley. They feel like this will be the hardest hit areas. They say this winter storm will be messy and hard to keep roads clear because it will come with a mixture of ice. That may be the hardest thing for crews to battle.
Yes, snow can cause a lot of issues and it's requires a lot of work for us. But when it comes to ice, it just changes things a lot. It's not fun. It's not fun at all to deal with. And so stay at home, be safe, let us get out there. And hopefully by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll all be in much better shape.
RDOT crews say they've even put UTVs out on trailers, put those out on the roadways with some crew members just in case they need to use those to rescue people. They're getting prepared for this. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Joe Ellison, 5 News.
Joe, thanks. More schools have made the call to go virtual tomorrow. Rogers Schools announcing students would be doing the classes online tomorrow, along with Springdale, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and Northwest Arkansas, as well as Fort Smith and Van Buren in the River Valley. You can get a full list of all schools closing and changing plans because of the winter weather on our website. You can see it there at 5newsonline.com.